Welcome to the Data Standards Body YouTube channel. This video discusses the candidate issues for Maintenance Iteration 21. The consultation for Maintenance Iteration 21, MI21, is captured in Decision Proposal 356, DP 356. The iteration candidates for the current iteration are displayed on the Data Standards Maintenance Project Board. The standards maintenance process facilitates the proposal of enhancements, corrections, or changes to the consumer data standards. This runs throughout the year, adjacent to the decision proposal consultations. To contribute to the maintenance iteration, request an invitation to the maintenance iteration call via contact@consumerdatastandards.gov.au or sign up with the DSB calendar. MI calls are held every 2 weeks on a Wednesday. DP 356 provides the agendas and dates for upcoming maintenance iteration calls and the minutes for past calls. The MI21 consultation opened on 11th September 2024. The first maintenance iteration call was on 18th September 2024. MI21 includes a number of candidates for consideration. As well as general holistic feedback, there are issues in the categories Consumer Experience, CX, Security, Banking, Admin, Non-Functional Requirements, NFRs, Documentation. Holistic Feedback. In the Holistic Feedback category is Issue 663, Maintenance Iteration 21, Holistic Feedback. Consumer Experience. In the CX category are Issue 659, Enhancing CDR Adoption, Streamlining Account Selection and Improving Data Transparency, Issue 674, Updates stemming from 2024 Consent Review Changes. Security. In the Security category are Issue 8, Adoption of Detached Signatures, Issue 540, Data Recipient Software Product unable to indicate optional ID token encryption requirement. Issue 649, Inconsistent JARM error responses. Issue 650, Weakened JARM encryption requirements for ADRs. Issue 654, Clarify transaction security requirements. Issue 666, Retirement of OIDC Hybrid Flow. Issue 667, Cleanup of Refresh Token Requirements. Banking. In the Banking category are Issue 229, Service Field in the Get Transaction Details API. Issue 553, Running Balance, available under Transaction Detail. Issue 657, Addition of LVR in the Enumerated Values list for constraintType. Issue 664, New Enums for voluntary disclosure of additional service overlays. Admin. In the Admin category is Issue 655, Get Metrics V5 Error Metrics Documentation. NFRs. In the NFRs category is Issue 660, Revise the Availability Requirements NFRs. Summaries of candidate issues. The following issue descriptions are summaries. See the issue for full details. Holistic Feedback Candidate Issue. Issue 663, Maintenance Iteration 21, Holistic Feedback. Each maintenance iteration has a related holistic feedback issue for raising minor changes such as text corrections or description clarifications. Participants are invited to add suggestions as comments to this issue. Issue 663 captures holistic feedback for MI21. This is a non-breaking change. Consumer Experience Candidate Issues. Issue 659, Enhancing CDR Adoption, Streamlining Account Selection and Improving Data Transparency. Issue 659 changes accommodate an option to select, for sharing, all permitted accounts held with a data holder. This is simpler than selecting each account individually. A change to the CX guidelines recommends a standardized account select interface. A modification to the Get Accounts Endpoint Response Banking Account List schema adds an available records field. Comparing this value with the accounts returned in the list via the Total Records field indicates to the ADR whether all available accounts have been shared. Issue 674 updates stemming from 2024 consent review changes. Issue 674 outlines the anticipated CX guidelines updates related to the 2024 consent review. Changes are expected in the following areas of the CX guidelines: collection and use consent, disclosure consents, amending consent, consent management, data recipient, new, notifications, CDR receipts, and new, notifications, 90-day notifications. Security candidate issues. Issue 8. Adoption of detached signatures. The Fortean Security Review recommended that detached signatures be included in the information security profile to provide recipients certainty of the data. A detached signature may be stored and transmitted separately from the message it signs. Issue 8 proposes that resource API responses include a header containing a detached signature that signs the contents of the response payload. Issue 540, Data Recipient Software Product unable to indicate optional ID token encryption requirement. The core OIDC Dynamic Client Registration DCR specification allows ID token encryption to be optional. To comply with this, some client registration request, registration properties fields should be optional. The fields to be made optional are ID token encrypted response ALG, ID token encrypted response ENC. Issue 649, Inconsistent JARM Error Responses. Issue 649 invites consultation on JARM error responses towards developing standards or guidelines that provide useful information for ADRs. Issue 650, Weaken JARM encryption requirements for ADRs. Issue 650 proposes removing the requirement for ADRs to support encryption of JARM responses. JARM encryption will then be optional for both ADRs and DHs. Issue 654, Clarify transaction security requirements. Issue 654 proposes improvements and clarification in the documentation for some security APIs. Changes are proposed in specified sections of the CDS Security Profile section. See Issue 654 for details. Issue 666, Retirement of OIDC Hybrid Flow. Issue 666 proposes the retirement of OIDC hybrid flow with a planned future retirement date, after which only authorization code flow shall be supported. The issue proposes changes to a number of areas in the CDS security profile. See Issue 666 for details. Issue 667, Cleanup of Refresh Token Requirements. Issue 667 seeks to update and clarify documentation of refresh token requirements. Issue 667 proposes changes in the CDS Security Profile Tokens Refresh Tokens section. Banking Candidate Issues. Issue 229, Service Field in the Get Transaction Details API. Issue 229 proposes changes to the Get Transaction Detail API. New Payments Platform, NPP, comprises of service types other than the currently supported X2P1.01. This is a breaking change. Issue 553, Running Balance available under Transaction Detail. Issue 553 proposes adding a running balance field of type banking balance to the response banking transaction list. Issue 656, a status of posted should indicate the final update for a transaction. Issue 656 proposes changes to the description of the banking transaction status field. The change documents the requirement that the status must be pending if the transaction is still in the process of authorization or may change. A transaction cannot change after its status is set to posted. Issue 657, addition of LVR in the enumerated values list for constraint type. Issue 657 proposes adding LVR to the enumerated values for constraint type in Banking Product Detail, Banking Product Constraint. This allows a DH to present a general loan-to-value ratio limit not specific to a product. Issue 664, new Enums for voluntary disclosure of additional service overlays. Issue 664 proposes changes and additions to the enumeration values for the Banking Transaction Details Schema, Extension UType field, and Service field. These changes accommodate the range of services offered by NPP, New Payments Platform. See also Issue 229. Admin Candidate Issues. Issue 655, Get Metrics V5 Error Metrics Documentation. Issue 655 proposes changes to the documentation of the error metrics schema, additional properties, and 500 fields. This clarifies reporting of errors in the 4XX and 5XX ranges. NFRs Candidate Issues. Issue 660, Revise the Availability Requirements NFRs. Issue 660 proposes to make the availability requirements NFRs binding and applicable for planned and unplanned outages. The issue proposes to make the 99.5% uptime target a must for planned and unplanned outages. That concludes the list of candidate issues for MI21. At the time of writing, the Maintenance Issue 21 schedule is 18th September 2024, Kickoff and Backlog Review completed. 2nd October 2024, Consultation completed. 16th October 2024, Consultation and New Issue Checkpoint. 30th of October 2024, Proposal Checkpoint. 13th of November 2024, Approvals and Documentation. See the DSP calendar for the up-to-date MI21 timeline. For more detail, read DP356 and the issues listed here. To provide feedback, comment on DP356 or on the individual issue. Thank you for participating in developing the Consumer Data Standards.